Hi, welcome to Yellow Slate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters.
Today we have with us Miss Sunita, whose kid is studying in Vishwa Vidyapeeth Takshashila branch, which is located in Bengaluru. To get to know more details about the school and her experience so far, let's have a conversation with her. Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
To begin with, can you let us know how did you narrow down and selected this school in particular when you were looking for schools for your kid?
Our journey started little above 11 years back when my child was about to start LKG, and we did have a list of schools that we wanted to visit and make the best choice, right? Because that's the most important thing in the child's growth. So we did visit. We spoke to the principals of different school, and we finally came to Vishwa Vidyapeeth. And while we entered into the school, the atmosphere itself was so positive for us. Then we met the admin department, and then we got to meet the director herself, Mrs. Sushila Santosh ma'am.
Yeah.
And the perspective that we got when we spoke to her totally changed, because we were more concentrating in terms of academics, right, and the security of the child, how is it, and so on and so forth. But when we had our conversation with her, she did explain what kind of an approach that the school is taking, because every school want the children to be best when it comes to academics, but is that all is the question, right? So certain perspectives that she touched was something that kind of was different for us. For example, behavior of the child, character of the child. I mean, these are the common things, but holistic growth of the child, right? The strategies that they were trying to bring in for the child's growth, it was different, we felt. And if you see the campus, it was like too very good. So I think we said, okay, this is the best school for our child, and that's how we started with the admission process.
Got it, ma'am. When you're mentioning holistic development, so what exactly do you mean by holistic development in Vishwa Vidyapeeth, and how do you think that has contributed to your child's overall development?
So when we speak about holistic development, right, what I strongly believe is experiential learning, right? What you see is what you believe. We have textbooks, of course, the best of the best teachers that has been onboarded in the school. But what really the children imbibe is when they start getting connected to the subject itself. So I mean, I would like to touch upon the most, the critical program which has been introduced in the school, which is called as Gurukula. I still remember in the year 2023 when director ma'am called, a set of parents and said, this is a program that we want to introduce. And also the best part is that any decisions, when it comes to critical decisions, it's always been a collaborative decision between the parents as well as the school, right? So, she spoke about what it really means in terms of building life skills, especially the life skills with the current generation, I would say, right? And then bringing in like, certain experiences when you go to certain places, right? What is that they would touch upon over there? I think that program made a lot of an impact on a child, which is a Gurukula program, which I mentioned just now. They got to visit different schools, the best schools, I would say, because for example, they started with Naitalim School in Nagpur, which is one of the oldest school which Gandhiji started, okay, way back. That had a certain things which, the children really liked. They got a learning. If you see this generation, right, we want to give the children everything the best, right? Is it right or wrong is again a question. But then this program has pushed the children to move out of their comfort zone, go explore, touch really, what you have not seen, the unseen part of things. It's changed my child's thinking. It's not just about all the rosy things that, in her day to day she sees, but life is on and beyond it. Especially she was taken to Leh Ladakh, where they were taken to certain army camps, especially a place, Zero RD, where no residents have gone there, but these kids had the privilege, and I should really thank the school for that, where they were taken to the army base. They went into the Kargil, there was an exhibition, they got an opportunity to go there. These programs have really changed the mind of the children, I would say, at least, whom I know, right, the set of students who have been visiting these places. It's like not just touching on the subject part in terms of history, geography, or biology, chemistry, physics, or whatever it is, but what could be their careers, how they could be helpful in the society, right? What is that struggles that people go through? I think there's a lot of a learning that they have gone through, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I see a lot of a change in my child, at least.
Great, ma'am. When it comes to the academic experience, so how do you describe your child's experience with the ICSE curriculum at Vishwa Vidyapeeth? So has it been challenging or engaging for them?
It's been both, I would say. Of course, ICSE comes with its own set of challenges because the subjects are very vast. But then things are made simple over here, right? And also the way the teachers collaborate with the children, they get connected with the children. They have some concept which is called as Guru Shishya Parampara, okay? And this is something which connects to our ancestors. We spoke about Guru Shishya Parampara way back, right? But this has been introduced today to bring the bonding between the families, the children, and the teacher itself. The child is not, of course, the child has the respect towards their teachers and the officials or everybody, I would say. And that is what the school is telling them, that you have to respect your elders, which I appreciate. But the point here is that with this, it break the bonds in terms of they freely going towards the teacher and asking, right? That's most important. Moving out from their shyness and going and bonding with the teacher and trying to understand more on the concept in terms of really seeing practically what it is and learning has made it little easy for them, I would say.
But when you're mentioning the bond is really good between teachers and students, so what exactly do you think our teachers are doing different compared to other schools that you find it very unique here?
Here it is like practical exposures, I would say. The teachers are going a little beyond what they should really be teaching, more to make the children understand the concepts. Because what I strongly believe is, right, as a parent, when you're teaching the concept very well to the child, right, then anything that they have been asked around the concept, right, they'll be in a position to answer. Because it may not be really the same type of a question answer pattern which is there in the textbook that you would get. But then if the concept is conveyed with the practical exposure, the child will never forget it. I have another example. The students had traveled to one of the places as part of their experiential learning. And due to the place constraints, they were sitting under a tree. They were learning about the kidney, the biology lesson which they had. It was taught by the teacher. They were taught only for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, is what my child told me, which is never forgotten. That was the only class that they had under the tree. But the concept was taught so well. After that, they came back and they were asked to give a test on the subject, and everybody scored well. They have even reflections also. Once they come back from the session, and when everybody, the parents were asking, that's about the transparency again, right? After they come back from their sessions or their trips, they are asked to, like, what is that they have learned, and every child needs to talk about what is their experience and what is that they have learned along with the teachers. And every child told them that that concept which was taught was like something they can never forget. So that's the way they have been taught.
Interesting, ma'am. While we know having a good relation between student and teacher is important, it is also equally important to have a great bonding with teachers and parents to see that overall growth of a student. So, what do you think the collaboration is with parents at Vishwavidyapeeth, and how is it going? Like, what kind of activities do they conduct? Like frequent meetings or any app to communicate? What does they do?
I would say that transparency is one thing which bring the belief in the parents, right? The more transparent a school, for example, right, Vishwavidyapeeth, they are, the more we kind of believe. So they bought a program called as Mother on Duty, okay, and they published saying that, okay, to if the parents want to come, we are inviting the mothers to come and stay in the school, right, through the classes. And they have certain things that we should not disturb them during their interaction, but you can sit and observe a lot of things. You're led to go into the kitchen, see if the cooking is happening. So that gives us a lot of a clarity in terms of what happens in the campus itself. Okay, that is transparency part. And every time there is PTMs that happen, the communications goes well because there's a app called as Entrar. The communication, that's basically a collaboration media, I would say, where all the assignments and any major communications that has to go in, it comes to that. But also it is giving us a platform for the parents to come to the school and see what is happening on the ground. So that's a very good program, I think, because many parents are like, okay, I mean, for me also, when we earlier, it's like, okay, the child is like 6 hours in the school, 8 hours in the school, like what really goes through the day. The child, of course, comes and inform, but then still, as a parent, you have your own ambiguities. So this program, which is called as Mother on Duty, You can come and you can actually see through your eyes like what happens on the ground. Yeah.
Got it, ma'am. Ma'am, can you also talk about the extracurricular activities at Vishwa Vidyapeeth?
There are like a lot of extracurricular activities, right? They started with a program which is called as Dasha Prabodha, which is helping or to improve the life skills of the child holistically, right? Other than that, they have like everything: swimming, skating, karate, every other things. And I would actually like to bring in the recent program that happened, which was called as Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan, specifically because farming is becoming an integral part, because over the period of time, we don't know if we are able to grow the right food with the type of chemicals that is being put and the soil the way it is today. The school is promoting today grow their own food, right? The school is taking the children to the farms and teaching them how to farm. It's a really good thing, I would say, right? Tomorrow, if we have a dearth for food, the child knows to grow their own food as well in an organic way. Then when it comes to Jawans, right, they are teaching them what is the whole process about. It is not just about the warfare. No, it's not that all about. But then it is what are the different levels? What is that they really do into it? How a person can probably grow in that particular thing, right? Being a Jawan, right? So I think there are different ways, and career counseling program is also giving an aspect to the children to understand like what are their strong skills and where they can grow.
Good. If you would like to suggest a scope for improvement so that Vishwa Vidyapeeth can improve, what is it about?
I mean, like this, even before we think something, they're already there. No, to be very honest with you, the visionary of the director of the school, every best thing that, I mean, it's what I've been observing, right, for this money, more than a decade now, is that anything that we think should probably be part of the school, they're already into the system, right? And for the well growth of the child. So one thing maybe is that we are growing, right? I want still those things which is there to still continue to grow more and to still bring in the best practices, which will really happen. So, I mean, to answer your question, I don't see anything as a room for improvement, because, the school is going really in a right direction for the child's holistic growth.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you for joining and sharing some of the great insights about the school and the positive opinion that you have about the school. I'm sure this will help for parents who are looking for best schools in Bangalore.
Thank you so much.